Hey, what's going on YouTube? EasyTech231 here, and I know what you're going to say. You're going to say something like, oh my goodness, where's the smooth panning B-roll and the buttery smooth voiceover? Yeah, I used to make these kind of videos all the time, you know, the live unscripted videos. I kind of miss making these videos, actually. And I know what you're going to say next. You're going to say something like, why is there an iPhone in his hand? Get it out. What is this? Blah. Yeah, my first video on this channel was actually on an iPhone 4, so it's not like I'm anti-Apple or anything like that. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys some tips and tricks that I came across while using iOS 10. Now, I've actually been using it for a few weeks, few months almost with the beta, but now it is ready for the general public. So if you want to go ahead and download it, you should be able to do so, or within the next few days, download it on your iPhone and, you know, use the latest version of iOS. So I'm just going to be giving you guys a few tips and tricks here. This is not a feature-focused video. This is not a review video or anything like that. Just tips and tricks, a few things that I found that, you know, you may find useful yourself. So I just wanted to share it with you guys. So let's go ahead and get right into it. All right, so the first thing you want to pay attention to here is the lock screen. We have widgets off to the left-hand side here. Widgets, I wonder where that came from. You also have the camera off to the right here. So there's no more swipe to unlock here. Some people would be like, oh my goodness, how do you unlock your phone? You have to press the home button in order to unlock your phone. Now, if you don't have Touch ID or a passcode or anything like that, you're going to have to just press the home button and unlock the phone. Some people are going to be like, oh my goodness, that's so stupid. Now I have to get used to this. Well, you are going to have to get used to it, but in all honesty, it actually kind of makes sense because most of us, if not all of us, wake up our phones using the home button anyway, right? So what's another press going to do? Now, for those of you that actually use the power button to wake your phone, you are going to have to wake it with the power button and then press the home button to get into your home screen. Now, if you are using Touch ID, you're going to want to pay attention to this as well. As you can see, I've got Touch ID enabled here, and I'm going to go ahead and rest my finger here. Now, normally the phone will go ahead and jump straight to the home screen, right? Well, no, you still have to press the home button to get to your home screen, which I found to be very interesting, even with Touch ID enabled. Now, some of you guys out there will probably go a little crazy over that because you just want it the way it was before, right? Well, yeah, you still have to rest your finger there, it unlocks, and then you press the home button again. So, I mean, it's kind of like before where you can still keep your thumb there or whatever you have on that button there, but unfortunately you still have to press the home button. Now you can get it back to the way it was before by going into settings. I'll go ahead and backtrack here. You have to go into settings, you have to go to general, you have to go to accessibility, you have to scroll all the way down here to home button, and then you can do rest finger to open. So when you first unlock it or first wake the display, you can just rest it there and you're good to go. All right, so this next feature is something that is way overdue, and this is something that it's probably safe to say everybody's been waiting for. I believe I can speak for everybody when I say that we all have this folder. We all have this folder right here. It's probably named something different, but we all have this folder with all of the applications that we don't really care for. Why are they in a folder? Because we can't get rid of them. But now with iOS 10, we can finally hide or remove certain system applications. So you just long press just like you would if you're about to uninstall any other application that you downloaded, and you can now remove them from the iPhone. Actually, you're not removing them from the iPhone. It's more like hiding them. They're still going to be in the iPhone, and you can still get to them. But yeah, you can now get rid of certain applications that you don't really need anymore, which is really cool to be able to see this. It feels like I've got my iPhone jailbroken right now, and this is like some sort of tweak. No, you can actually do this, which is really, really cool. So I actually got rid of Apple Maps already. But yeah, you can get rid of pretty much all of these applications. Again, you're not uninstalling them, you're just hiding them. And if you want to get back at them, you go to the App Store, search for it, and re-enable it. That's pretty much it. All right, so this next feature is also well overdue, and Android phones have had this feature for many, many years, but that's besides the point. In iOS 10, we have something called Raise to Wake. So it has a specific sensor in here. In certain iPhones, I believe it's only the 6S, the SE, and the 7 that have this specific sensor that will wake the display when you raise your device. So it works really, really well. And, you know, while it might be useful to a lot of you, some of you might actually find that it will drain the battery life. So if you want to get rid of this, if you want something, if you if you don't want this enabled, just go ahead and go into settings, display and brightness, and then go ahead and disable Raise to Wake. So save a little bit more battery life. Now, I know a lot of you are going to say, oh, well, the iPhone has a good enough battery to last with that enabled, but not everybody's going to find it useful anyway, so I just wanted to share with you guys how you can disable it just in case. New with iOS 10, you can actually use your camera as a magnifier. Don't really know why I said that. I was trying to make it sound a lot more crazy than it actually is. Yes, you can actually use your iPhone's camera as a magnifying glass, which is, it's pretty cool. Some people may find it useful. If you don't have any vision whatsoever, then this will probably be interesting. You can actually go into the settings, go ahead and go into general, go to accessibility, and you can enable the magnifier right there. And with a triple press of the home button, it will launch this magnifier right here. So as you can see, this is completely separate from the actual camera application. So if I wanted to zoom in on something, let's say right here, sorry, this is a bad angle, but you can actually get in really close to something, like right there. Wow, that is really close. I'm going to go ahead and lock it right here. So it went ahead and it locked it. So now we can zoom in. Hello. We can zoom into our heart's content, zoom in and out, and we actually have this button over here for contrast and brightness and whatnot. Not really sure what you could use this for. You could probably just, use your imagination and put this to good use. See how dirty your keyboard really is. I don't know, but that's what I'm using it for right now. This is a pretty cool feature, not for everybody, but it's here, and it can be found useful. All right, so wrapping up the rest of the tips and tricks here, we're going to be talking about 3D Touch. There are a lot of new things that you can do with 3D Touch. If you don't know what 3D Touch is, it pretty much allows you to press things harder, and that gets you to certain abilities here in the OS. Now, you can only do this with devices that have 3D Touch display. So, of course, iPhone 6s and the 7, of course. Yeah, so, for example, we all know how it is having a bunch of notifications from days and days and days and days gone by, correct? And in order to clear them, you have to press the X button every single time another day pops up. You just have to keep pressing it, right? Well, now, with 3D Touch, this would be so much cooler if I didn't clear my notifications 8 minutes ago, but you can actually long press or force touch on this little X button up top, and you can clear all of the notifications from forever. So this is really, really useful for those of you that don't like to really go through all of your notifications and you just want to get rid of them quickly. Force touch or 3D touch on the little X button, clear all notifications. Again, it would have been so much cooler if I had all of my notifications from the past week, because I did 8 minutes ago. Okay, now 9. Now another thing you can do, again, this would be so much cooler if I had like a text message here, but you can actually force touch or 3D touch on this to interact with it straight from this notification shade without having to go into the application. So I could like it, I could retweet this if I wanted to, and if I had a text message, I could, or an iMessage as you Apple people say, I could actually force touch on here and I can reply, and it'll actually show the text message thread, which is really cool, without leaving this place, without having to go into the application itself. So that is really useful. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys right there. Boom, they're all gone. And yeah, that's a very, very welcome feature. You can also use 3D Touch on folders that have applications with notification badges, which is pretty cool, so that you can really get a nice rundown of what applications have, how many notifications and whatnot, which ones need your attention the most. So for example, if I did it here in the social one, it'll show me how many notifications for each one that actually has a notification. And last but not least, you can use 3D Touch in the control center now, which is, it's pretty cool. You can actually do things like force touch or 3D touch here on the flashlight and get different brightness settings for the torch. So if you don't want it at 100%, you can actually get it, a little lower if you wanted to. So that's pretty cool if you didn't really want it at full blast or anything like that. You can also use it for the timer here, which is pretty cool. You can use it for the calculator to copy your latest result, or your last result rather. And you can also do it on the camera here to quickly take a photo, a selfie, etc. Now you can already do this on the home screen, so I'm not too sure why that's a huge feature or anything like that. What I really, really wish they did was implement 3D touch into the toggles up here. This is meant to be the control center, right? So if I could 3D touch on Wi-Fi and have it pop up a window with all of the available Wi-Fi networks, that right there would be awesome. If the same thing with Bluetooth, if I could do 3D touch on the Bluetooth toggle and then have it pop up a window without going into the settings application and have all my Bluetooth settings right there, all of my available Bluetooth devices nearby, that would be something that would be worth mentioning. Unfortunately, this is still not really much of a control center. It's more of a toggle center in my opinion. You still have to go into the settings to do simple things like connect to the Wi-Fi. Yeah, it is what it is. This is not a rant video or anything like that. I just wanted to show you guys what I really wish they put 3D touch into. That would have been nice. But anyway, other than that, that's pretty much it. Those are my tips and tricks for iOS 10. If you'd like to see more videos than this, hit me up in the comments and let me know. Feel free to hit that like button as well if you did enjoy this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. That does it for me. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys later. Peace.